I travel the world the way that I like to, anytime that I want to, and it's really by day trading. I think there are three elements in successful trading: technology, strategy, and psychology. These three are very important, and you have to have all of them at the same time. Biggest win a day, I think I had a day over $100,000 profit. My account size right now is 6 million. A system can work only 50% of the time, but it still makes you a lot of money.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the FOREX Beginner Podcast. My name is Calvin, and today we have a special guest in the building. We have Dr. Andrew Aziz in the building today. This gentleman is, and I'm going to tell the story really soon, but I just want to put it out there. This gentleman makes a living day trading, as well as teaching other everyday individuals like you and I how they can also make a living day trading. So I'm excited to have him on today. And Andrew, how are you today, man? How are you?
I am good. Thank you so much for having me into your podcast and your show. And yeah, great job. I'm a fan. I watched a couple of your episodes to just get a feeling of what you're doing. And I really enjoyed that. And for those of you who can see these, I can see actually you're a really nice things behind you. Happy wife, happy life. The wisdom of a married man. I like that.
Yes. Listen, it's an honor and a privilege to have you today. And really what I want to dive into today is how to day trade for a living. My audience, they're everyday hardworking individuals. Some of them business owners, some of them have careers, and others are just figuring out life, but they have a desire to secure financial freedom through the financial markets. And so it's very important for me to have people on this podcast that have been able to achieve that type of financial freedom through the markets. Now, I want to back up a little bit before we jump into asking questions. And I kind of want to just let you know how valuable and important you have been on my journey. So about I want to say 7 years ago, about 7 years ago, because I know the book came out in 2018. And I purchased the book, I believe, toward the end of 2018, going into 2019, if I'm not mistaken. And where I was at that time is I was basically just starting my first, entrepreneurial business. I was about 2 years in at the time. I had quit my full-time job, and I was working the business during the day, and I was doing Uber at night, driving people, delivering food during Uber at night. And I picked up this guy, and he was coming out of this expensive store, and, he got in the car, and I saw it was like a nice 45-minute drive until I drop him off. And so when I have, a person that I think is wealthy in the car, I tend to ask questions and take advantage of the ride. So I'm asking him all these questions, and then I just get right to it. I'm like, so what do you do for a living? And he's like, well, I'm a realtor by trade, but as of recently, I've just been day trading. And I'm like, really? Tell me more about this. So anyway, long story short, he tells me everything about his journey and how he started with just a few $1,000s, and he was able to scale a portfolio of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm like, how do I get started? And he was like, I'm gonna tell you how I got started. I read a book. It's a black book. And if you go on Amazon, it's called How to Day Trade for a Living. If you get that book, that's not everything, but it'll give you a clear foundation of if this is for you or not. And so, Andrew, I just want to tell you, it's been about 5, 6, 7 years, and I still have that book. It's right here. It's actually, I keep it inside of my area over here with my other books that have been powerful for me. So just want to let you know that this interview is very appreciative, and I thank you for your time.
I love that. That's such a great story. Thank you so much. And it feels good that actually I can see, give some motivation and some direction for the people who want to change something. Day trading really changed my life. I'm traveling the world the way that I want, not the way that I had to. A lot of people travel the world, when they're retired and they're older, had to take cruises and stuff. I travel the world the way that I like to, anytime that I want to. And it's really by day trading. And day trading is a relatively new area for retail traders. Right around like 2014, 15 was like the commissions started dropping significantly. Technology started coming to Main Street. Like people didn't have access to these brokers and these sophisticated direct access platforms. So it was right around at that time that I picked it up, and I kind of got lucky. And I think, as you mentioned, a lot of people are doing it. The genie is out of the lamp. So I don't think retail trading is going to go away at all. If anything, the people are creating new instruments to trade. Like the crypto is essentially something that people created together, and now they're trading it together. That bypass all the regulations and stuff, that other stuff in there. And I think there's a lot of potential. Having said that, it's an entrepreneurial endeavor. It's hard. There's a high failure rate in there. It's a high performing field. Like professional athletes, you have to be in always high performance when you're doing day trading. It's a little bit different from investing, because your performance, your mindset matters in a matter of seconds. So the decisions that you can make can impact you very quickly. So that's why we consider it a high performing field. There's a lot of potential. You can make a living out of it, but of course you have to be uh, ready to know what you're getting into and be prepared for that.
Absolutely. So Andrew, like, tell us this. When you first got introduced to day trading, where were you in life? Were you inside of a career? Were you an entrepreneur? What was going on in your life when you got introduced to day trading?
So I was, when I started messing around with financial market was around 2012, 13 mostly. I didn't have any money before to be worried. So trading and investing is a problem for people who at least have money. I was literally really broke until I finished my PhD. I was on a scholarship from UBC, and I really didn't have any money. Then I started in 2013 when I finished my PhD, and I started having a job. I started having some sort of a savings, like we were talking about $5,000 to $10,000 saving. And I said, okay, what should I do with that? And okay, at work, I saw someone is watching these stocks going up and down. I started talking. Brian Pezim is actually my good friend, and now we're trading together. And he started showing me around a little bit of the style of trading and stuff. And about 2013 was the one that I picked up. Before that, and I was, I think, about 30-year-old in that time. Before that, I really didn't have any money or savings in life. And that's how I got it. And that was essentially the time that this bull market for retail trading actually started. The market volatility went up. We had a really massive volatility going up in all the way to pandemic. And yeah, that was about it. And what I found was in 2013 and 14 is that as someone that is fresh learning, there's a lot of information out there, but there wasn't a comprehensive guide to tell me step by step. There was a lot of YouTube material out there. Blog posts was really active in that time. Wikipedia, some stuff. So, actually, after I, picked up some stuff, I wasn't really a great trader in that time. I said, you know what? Let me write a small book about it. And, I saw that Amazon allows you self-publishing and stuff. So I write my 2015 book, the first version. It was very short. And it was essentially a summary, a diary of what I was learning in this process, that you can put these ones together. I never really claimed that I'm an amazing trader or this, but these are the things that I learned and put together and published in 2015. And that became a bestseller because I think there was nothing like that. And people again started looking at the hearing about day trading, and I said, oh, there's a book, and then there's a short, easy book, not technical, not written by someone with finance and background, and that's why it resonated with people. And again, as you mentioned, this book doesn't give you exactly how to trade every single day. It gives you a really good foundation of what you need and how you can actually build upon this foundation to become a successful trader.
Absolutely. It really does. So for the person right now that's saying, Andrew, listen, I relate with you. I hear it. I'm just like you. Like, I have a little bit in savings, and I know that this is going to be hard. I know it's like starting a business. Essentially, it is a business, but I have what it takes. I have the perseverance. I will stick with it. I can be disciplined. What are the next steps? Is it more of learning a strategy type thing, or is it more of getting into the habit of being consistent with one thing? Like, can you just kind of walk us through, once a person is committed, what are the next steps to get on this journey?
I think there are three elements in successful trading: technology, strategy, and psychology. These three are very important, and you have to have all of them at the same time. They're like a three legs of a stool. Remove one, it collapses. So technology is the platform that you're using, the indicators that you're using, the broker that you're choosing, and the instrument that you decide to trade. Like, I trade specifically US stock market. That requires a certain broker, certain platform, and certain indicators that might not necessarily work in FOREX or crypto or options or other stuff. So the first step is to decide, okay, what financial instrument you want to trade, what are the pros and cons in each of them, and then get your gear toward that. And of course, computer, laptops, and everything else goes through that technology. But it's not only that; it's the whole system that you start. And then, depending on what the first step, you go to the strategy. Okay, so if I want to trade crypto, what are the popular strategies, the time frame that people trade, the hours that is tradable, and that kind of thing. Stock market is my thing, and the strategies that work on the stock market are the popular ones like opening range breakout and VWAP and that kind of thing. The time is very clear, and then you start building that strategy. Of course, by learning the things that people are using and publishing, and you start that as a foundation. And after that, we go into another challenging part, which is this mindset and psychology. How to differentiate trading from gambling. The impulsive decisions that you make that cost you a lot of money. And that comes only with experience. And part of it definitely comes with losing and those early losses that you have during the career. So you have to plan it right. My thing is the stock market. And I love it because it's always volatile. It has a certain hours to work. I don't like crypto or Forex because market is open 24/7. And I hate watching the market for 24/7. It's just giving me this mental anxiety. I love my day starts at 9:30 a.m. at New York time, finishes at 4, and I know I'm only trading for 2 hours. That's my thing. And I love that. Is it the best? Of course not. Crypto can be more volatile. Forex can have more leverage, options, more capital efficient. But I choose stock, common shares, because it gives a really good structure for me. And I'm an advocate of part-time trading for a living. And if you want to do for a living, you need to have consistent volatility during the day that you can make money. And the only market that I know that gives you consistent volatility is the stock market. Like, crypto can be really wild and volatile and amazing for days and weeks and months. And it can go into an area that is really hard to trade because there's just not volatility in there. Same as Forex. Forex can be amazing, but at the same time can go into the periods of that is no volatile, or volatility is at the time that you're sleeping. That's also another issue. But stock market, 9 a.m., 11 a.m., done, you can guarantee some sort of a volatility almost every single day. And that's what I like. One ad, I don't want to answer very long to your questions, but one thing that I want to mention is that every single person must trade in a simulator. Depending on no matter what you're trading, just because you can open an account doesn't mean that you should start trading live. You have to go through that simulation.
One question that I get asked all the time, and I'm going to answer it right now so you don't have to go in the comment section and ask it again. Calvin, how are you trading in the market? How are you participating in the foreign exchange market? Well, there's 3 ways that I'm using. One way has been traditionally using Forex prop firms. Now, I got funded with my first prop firm account back in 2021. That was actually my second year of trading. I was still learning, just developed my new scalping strategy, and I was able to get funded with the prop firm $100,000 in simulated prop firm capital. Simulated meaning it's a demo account. However, you get paid on any profits that you make using those simulated/demo accounts. Now, if that's something that you're interested in, check out Blue Guardian. Blue Guardian has this amazing tool called the Guardian Protector. And what the Guardian Protector does is it allows you to set limits in the market, even if you don't set a stop loss. Even before you even take a trade, you can set limits in the market. Log onto your account, go in your back office, set these limits. They can be dollar amount limits or they can be percentage limits, so that once you hit those limits in your trades, it's going to automatically take you out and it gives you the opportunity to live to trade another day. Also, when it comes to trading my personal account, I utilize a offshore broker and a US regulated broker. Now, the bulk of my money is in the US regulated broker, but I do put a couple $100s in a offshore broker, a non-US regulated broker, and the broker that I use is 24K Markets. What I like about 24K Markets so far is the quick withdrawals. I was able to take a withdrawal last week and the deposit hit my account in like 45 minutes. Also, being able to utilize the platform Trade Locker with 24K Markets allows me to trade from my cell phone as well as my computer or tablet, and literally I can drag and drop my take profit, drag and drop my stop loss Very, very easy to use and to manage risk as well. And before we get back to the interview, please remember trading involves extreme risk. So, number one, make sure you're never investing money that you need to live your life, money that you're depending on to survive. Number two, make sure you have a trading plan. Make sure you have tested your strategy, you have the data. Number three, make sure you're practicing discipline, patience, and number four, let the money come to you. Don't run behind trades. Let the setups come to you. Let's get back to the interview. Yeah, I totally agree. Now, when you talk about volatility, because there are some people watching right now that are new to the day trading space, they're enthusiastic about it, but they're new to the terminology. What do you mean exactly by volatility? Can you break that down for us?
Yeah. So as a trader, you want to buy low and sell high. And that difference is called volatility. If you buy something that this price stays the same or changes very little, how do you want to make profit on that? That is just doesn't make any sense. So as same as any other trader in any world, real estate traders, you buy something, you flip it, you hope that you sell it more expensive, you cover your cost of uh, transaction, and then you make money out of it. But if you go buy a house and then if nobody buys it from you, or you sell it at the same price, you just lose money on the transaction fee. So the volatility is these price ups and downs, and the higher the better. As someone who wants to trade uh, stock market or crypto or whatever, so we want volatility in a stock market. Most of the volatility is happening in the first 2 hours of the market open, and then kind of slows down. Yes, there are breaking news and some volatility during the day as well, but majority of the volatility is in the first 2 hours. Go to your app, look at the Apple, look at the chart. In iPhone, you can see that the first ups and downs are the volatility that we as the traders are looking for and try to benefit from it.
Beautiful. Well said. Thank you for that. Now, you said that you trade 2 hours a day, and that is what works specifically for you. Now, how long are you holding these trades, and are you more of a scalp trader where you're in and out of positions?
Yeah, so my trades are seconds to minutes, and that calls scalping. So I buy now, a few seconds or a few minutes later, I sell. I rarely hold anything to hours. Um, and my positions are open and closed during the same day. That's why it makes me a day trader. So at the end of the day, I'm cash. I'm all cash, sitting here. No, I'm not looking at the market. I don't have an exposure. I'm done with my day. Whatever happens, ups and downs, maybe I'm missing it, but I'm all cash. That makes me a day trader. And yes, seconds to minutes, I'm an scalper. You can have day trading for hours. Those are like more swing trading mentality over the day. So you buy now and you fade it all day, wait for all day and close. That's another type, but I don't do that.
Thank you. Now, I do want to put this out here before I ask you this question. The only guarantee in trading in any market is that you will lose. But Andrew, I do want to ask this question because I think it's encouraging. And when you have somebody of your status who has done it and you're teaching other people how to do it, I think it's something that can encourage people to keep going. So if you don't mind answering, what has been like your biggest day in the market thus far?
Biggest win a day, I think I had a day over $100,000 profit, and biggest loss, I had $150,000 loss in one single day.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And then my biggest loss in trading wise, in one trade that I opened as a day trade, and then I hold it overnight, and I didn't accept the loss. It went up to almost 6 months, and it was $2 million. And
Wow.
it's on YouTube. You can actually see that. It was live in front of everybody. There is, if you go back about 2 years in my channel, you can find that actually the $2 million loss.
Wow. Okay. So on that $100,000 position that you made in one trade, how long did you hold that position?
That one was the gain or the loss.
The gain, and then we'll go to the loss next.
So the gain, that $100,000, it was the combination of a couple of big scalp that I did.
Okay.
So it was, I think, 2 or 3 trades on Tesla and Nvidia. So it was not one single trade. Each of them was $30,000, $40,000. And I usually take between 4,000 or 5,000 shares of Tesla or Nvidia, the total buying power of about $2 million or something like that. So it was something around 10, 15 minutes maximum each trade was that. And it
Okay.
was at the same time. So that's why they added up to $100,000 a day.
Okay. Perfect. Now, obviously, as traders, as inspiring day traders and traders that are working to get to that status, that's not day one or month two or year one of trading, being able to make $100,000 in one trading day or being able to lose that rather, right? So can you talk about the progression in terms of scaling up your position sizes to get to that point? What was that journey like? Like, where did you start? And then how did you gradually scale up over time?
Yeah, I like that question because $100,000 means nothing if you
Correct.
don't know what the account size is. My account size right now is 6 million, and $100,000 would be something about a little bit over like 1%, like almost 2% of my account size. If you look at it on the percentage wise, the traders that really learn and we've gone through this mess of early losses, you can aim for 0.5% to 1% profit a day in your account. So if your account is $30,000, so you can aim about $300, which is reasonable. Anything beyond that is wishful thinking. I guarantee you. Yes, you can find something pops up 10%, 20%, but consistently, when you average it over time, 1% is reasonable, which is good. Anything beyond is wishful thinking. You're fooling yourself. And people are promising that they are scamming you somehow, or they're not telling you the total truth. But it's a lot because it compounds. So if you start with 1%, at the end of the year, you're talking about 200 to 250% return because we have about 250 trading days on that average. And your account doubles and then doubles and then doubles. And people underestimate the power of compounding. And this is very important. You don't see that. What I say, if $200 is not $50 is nothing. This guy is making that much. Yeah, but look at it, put it in perspective, and you have to be patient on that. When you start as a professional athlete, Cristiano Ronaldo, the famous soccer player, makes 100 million a year, but he didn't start like that. He started with playing free for the gloves and slowly build up on that. And now he's in a compounding effect. Every contract is going bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's very important to understand the compounding effect, be patient, and then anything else is visual thinking. You're fooling yourself.
Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that. Now, you do educate and you teach a lot of people. What are some of the common characteristics of the successful students that you've had?
They're all dreamer and overachievers in life. I see people that, first of all, they dream of something and they go after. They have this entrepreneurial spirit on that. So you said, for example, you were doing Uber. It's not a problem to do Uber. I want to build my life. I worked in a restaurant. That doesn't matter. I still want to, if I need it, I go and do whatever I need. That spirit that you want more from life, male, female doesn't matter, age doesn't matter. They want more from life and they take up a new challenge. And they're all overachievers. They want to. I climbed Everest. Not.
Wow.
That's just something that I do. I like to go after things because climbing is my passion. And I say, okay, what is the top thing that I can do at climb Everest? Not everybody should climb Everest to become a trader, but people go after the successful ones. Or success is in their DNA. They want to be the best at what they do. It doesn't matter if it's climbing or not. But it's just they want to be the best at what they do. And maybe they become, maybe not, but they have this mentality to go after it. That's what makes the trading very unique, because what you do in the everyday life, what you eat, how you sleep, who you're hanging with is impacting your decisions. It's what we call a high performing activity. Very similar to poker, very similar to professional athletes. These are high performing fields.
Wow. Thank you for that. Now, I cannot skip over that, Andrew. So you climbed Mount Everest, which for anybody that doesn't know, that is the tallest mountain above sea level in the world. All right. Talk to us about that, please. Like, what made you want to do it? How long ago was it? And what was that experience like?
So it was last year. So around this time, I did it in May 19, 2023, and because that's the season that there's most stable weather on Everest and people climb. Right now, there are all expeditions happening in 2024. So I climbing and mountain was my passion. I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to challenge myself, go higher and higher and higher. And this challenging myself, I love it. And I do it for the purpose of challenging myself because life shouldn't be easy. It wasn't supposed to be easy. You challenge yourself. But the reason that I actually went after that is, the variable traders community that we have, that we teach, we support each other. It's not a school, it's more like a community. We support each other. I do it with the flag of a community to show people that push yourself toward excellence. My motto is keep moving physically and mentally. And the reason that I do climb the biggest mountains right now is to show our community that you can push your limits. For Everest, we had to cross dead bodies up there to get to the summit. And I have pictures of that. I'm showing it to the community. That requires a certain mindset that you go for it. Nothing would stop you. Of course, you take calculated risks. I didn't do anything crazy up there. If I was feeling sick or I really felt uncomfortable, I would have turned back. But I was pushing on a calculated risk environment, and trading is also same thing. You are taking risk in a financial market jungle, but you do it on a calculated manner and try to benefit from it.
Wow. Wow. I can imagine. Wow. Crossing someone that is no longer here doing something that you are attempting to do. Wow. Wow. I definitely give you a lot of props for that, Andrew. Wow. Okay. So moving forward here, because I definitely want to be mindful of your time. In terms of strategy wise, how you approach the market, your X and O's to determine when to enter a market, is there a set strategy that you use, or are you more of a market observer? Like you observe the market, you're waiting for certain levels to get hit, and then you're waiting to see certain reactions. What type of trader are you? Systematic or like more discretionary?
So what we call them is a hybrid system.
Okay.
So the hybrid system is you have a set of rules, but at the same time, the system is at your discretion to execute or not. It's different from algos that they're just executing it based on the rules, the mechanical systems. But the discretionary systems are at your discretion. But I do have certain rules for stop loss, for entries and exits. The discretionary or hybrid systems are better for every market conditions because you can adapt faster to the changing market condition with your intelligence, the cognitive intelligence that above it. The algos also, when the market changes, they adapt, but they need more data to train themselves. But the hybrid systems like us, we adapt faster because we observe the market, as you said, and process the data from the market in real time. The downside on that is it's prone to our cognitive bias and mistakes. And then the emotions got involved. The fear of missing out, the regret of being left out, not accepting the loss, and that type of thing. And most of my losses, always usually is not from my system; it's from me not respecting my system. So why a strategy? I have two or three strategy, not very complex. These strategies are known. People have published them before. We have published them and done research and backtesting on it. If you search my name, my research papers in the field are available. And they're opening range breakouts. You wait for a certain period of time. If you break out above or below, you go long or you go short. It's very standard, known for 40, 50 years as long as I know, and you just adapt it to the market condition. You don't need a lot of a strategy. I think each trader needs two or three strategy, one or two trend, one or two counter trend, and I think that is enough for traders to make consistent money pretty much every single week. I wouldn't say every single day because there are some days that I don't take any trade, but I think every week you can find something that is moving.
Awesome. Awesome. The term risk management, when you hear that, what does that mean for you? What is your response to that risk management?
Yeah, risk management is one of those things that at the beginning I was reading what they're talking about. What kind of risk? Is it something hitting on my head? No. The risk is the amount of loss that you accept on every single trade. So $50 loss, $100 loss, or $2,000 loss in every single trade. And managing on that is very important. So essentially, risk management is having a stop loss, definition of a good stop loss, where should it be, and execution of that. Part of the risk management is also the number of the shares that you take, or number of the lots that you take on Forex, or number of the coins that you buy is in crypto. These are elements of risk management, which the goal is to keep you saved in every single trade and over long term.
Awesome. Andrew, how would you define a successful trader?
Successful trader is the one that is really good at accepting small losses. A small loss is not a mistake. Letting it to become a big loss is the mistake of trader. Because the market in nature is uncertain. A lot of people think that if your system works, why don't you have 100% profit? Or why don't you give it zero cent stop loss? The answer for that is these systems work statistically. They're not 100%. And it's if I enter a trade and I get stopped out, that doesn't mean that it was a bad trade. That doesn't mean that I'm an idiot. That doesn't mean that my system has a problem. It's just the nature of the market is probabilistic, and nobody knows, and that makes it beautiful. That nobody knows. There is an element of luck, or not. It's not luck. It's the element of uncertainty involved in it. That's why you need risk management. If I can find a system that works 100% of the time, then we don't need a stop loss. But that system doesn't exist. Even 99% doesn't exist. A system can work only 50% of the time, but it still makes you a lot of money. My trading accuracy is about 50%, but my losses are small, my gains are bigger than my losses, and over time, I have something called positive expectancy. It means that over time, I'm making profit than losses. And these are not my words. These Wall Street has researched these for 100 years. There are research books and everything on that. So these are not secrets that somebody tells you. These are common sense, they're mathematics, and you just have to accept that's the nature of the business. Imagine you open a restaurant. You open the day, there are some weekends that people are coming, there are some days that nobody comes to your restaurant. It's not your fault. It's just the nature of the day. It's the business cycle. You don't kill yourself, or you don't just smash your tables just because you don't have a customer that day. You just wait for the, wave of the customer that comes, the same as trading. That's how it works, and you have to accept it.
Yeah, that's really good. Andrew, before we get out of here, I just wanted to ask you if you could give any encouragement to somebody. You've already given us so much, but if you can give some last words of encouragement to somebody that may be already on the journey, but they're really hitting their head right now. They're in a deficit, or their account is in drawdown right now, and maybe they feel like giving up. What encouragement would you give them right now?
Don't afraid of failure. Don't become afraid of failure. Go for it, man. Go for it. What else do you lose? $5,000, $10,000, nothing in the grand scheme of life. Go for it. Try it. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. There is no shame in trading and failing. Going after trading and failing. You got to be proud of yourself. And what you learn during the process, it serves you better in life, in the next endeavor that you do. So not everybody becomes a professional athlete, but people every year, they go after basketball, they go after soccer, they go after football, and they all dream of one day become a superstar player in a good league. But even if they don't become, they enjoy the process, they go after it. Same as trading, go after it. It's a business. It's easy to start, learn it well, manage it well. Even if it doesn't work out, it's okay. Go after that dream, and be a dreamer. And even if you want to give up trading for some time, that's okay. The next thing, dream something. Go after it. I'm not as smarter than you. The things that you see in the world are built by people that they're not as smarter than you. And if you accept that, if you really realize that, then nothing will stop you in life.
Amen, brother. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, Forex Beginner Podcast, Mr. PhD, Dr. Andrew Aziz in the building with us. Listen, Andrew, before we get out of here, I definitely want to give you the opportunity. Let us know where we can follow you, where we can contact you. For anybody that's interested in education, if anybody's interested in getting the book, let us know where we can get all those great resources that you have for us.
Awesome. Just Google my name, Andrew Aziz. I'm in all social media, X, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. And yeah, just send me an email, send me a DM. My email is andrew@bearabletraders.com. Personally, check all the emails. Just shoot me an email. And yeah, I love to hear from the people and enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. Life takes you ups and downs. Enjoy the journey.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another interview, Forex Beginner Podcast. I look forward to running into you at the bank one day, but you cannot meet me there. You got to beat me there. When I pull up, you should already be walking out, duffel bag on your shoulder, big smile on your face. That's my way of saying I believe we all are going to be successful. Till next time, God bless you. Peace.